Phocilides, Philosopher. Greek, translated into Spanish verse by Don Francisco de Quevedo Villegas. Phocilides was, among the ancient philosophers, a singular scholar. In his verses, all the commandments of divine law, all the laws of nature, and all the ordinances of the jurists are expressed in the form of precepts, which he calls Admonitorium in Greek. Thus, in Phocilides alone, one will find rules for Christian, natural, and political living, something worthy of singular admiration. Phocilides and Pythagoras lived at one time, but Phocilides was famous before Pythagoras. Thus says Eusebius, the former flourished in the 60th Olympiad, and this one in 63. Then flourished Phocilides, teacher of Pythagoras, and Theognis, Simonides, the poet Anacreon, Pisistratus, tyrant of Athens. Shortly after Croesus fell into the power of Cyrus, he taught Jeremias in Judea. Suidas differs only 1 year from Eusebius, for he writes that Theognis and Phocilides lived together, in the 59th Olympiad, 1047 years after the Trojan War. Diogenes does not deviate far from Eusebius, and Suidas is close to the time of Phocilides and Pythagoras. Suidas says that this poem was called Chapters on Good Manners. Genebrado says that Phocilides flourished in the time of Hezekiah, in the year 3464, shortly before the Babylonian captivity, in the time of Epimenides and Archilochus, the old prophet, and Helkias the high priest among the Hebrews. The glory of this author is that, so many years before Christ, he allowed those of us who have his law and were born so much later to learn according to his precepts. On the poetry of Quevedo. Warning. Keep these oracles, reader, in the secret of your heart, which justice declares through the learned mouth of the divine Phocilides. Do not be deceived by industry and diligence, or by vain hope, with stolen secret marriages, nor allow yourself to be blindly dragged like a beast of appetite, by a manly Venus. Keep the laws of nature, do not treacherously offend truth and companionship, nor let your too horrible and stained hands be seen with the blood of others. Do not enrich yourself with usury, robbery, and thievery without license. Live from what you justly acquire, and do not always torment yourself, dragged from another day with hungry hope. Rest in the present, and secure the goods of others within yourself. Do not with an hostile voice, and a double-breasted breast. May the truth, daughter of heaven, always reign pure and white on your lips, and reverence God first, and your parents afterward. Grant to all what is just, and not proudly for favor or interest. Sell the poor their merit and reason, and do not dismiss the poor with contempt. Judge no one by suspicion or rash indications. Go, for if you judge others wrongly, God will judge you later for it. Never bear false witness. Continually speak well of all. Keep virginity, which is a precious gift, and be faithful in everything. Do not defraud weights and measures, for the middle price is an honest and good price in all, nor with stolen weights, and maliciously make equal balances. Give weights to all properly. Never swear falsely to God, neither willingly nor by force, because you know that the holy and immortal God hates those who swear. Do not steal the seeds, for he who steals what another has sown is execrable and worthy of great punishment. Pay the worker his wages, and never afflict the one who lives in poverty at the mercy of all. Think about what you will say, and hide your secrets in your heart. Never be harmful to anyone, but rather use your strength to restrain those who do wrong. If a beggar asks you for humble alms, give him some, and do not order him to return another day. And if you give alms, give it with a cheerful face and an open hand. Welcome the exile and the stranger, and let your home be a homeland for strangers. Guide the blind. Have mercy on those whom the sea punishes with shipwrecks, for navigation is an uncertain thing. Give your hand to the fallen, give help to the man who sees himself alone and lost. Such are the situations in this world to all who walk in it. Life is a rolling ball, and our happiness is unstable. If you are rich, share with those in need, for you owe them what you have left over. If God gave you much, it was his intention to give you the help you need for the beggar. Do it, and you will do the will of heaven. Let life be common in all things, and all things will grow with harmony. Gird on your sword, not for anxiety, but for your own defense. And may it please God that to defend yourself you do not need it unjustly, nor justly. For it is certain that even if you kill your enemy, you will stain your hands, and you will offend God, whose life is. Do not offend your neighbor's fence, nor think the fruit therein better, nor offend him with your feet. Have modesty, for that is the best way to live. And bear in mind that no daring act has failed to be vicious. The fruit trees, the crops, and the herbs, which, like a part of the earth, grow upon it, neither out of season, nor unnoticed, nor maliciously offend you. Reverence the stranger as well as the citizen. We can all equally suffer vague poverty. And the reason that makes him a stranger in your land may tomorrow make you a pilgrim in his own, for the earth, subject to the misfortunes that befall it, is no man's firm habitation. Avarice is the universal mother of all vices. Silver and gold are a precious deception of the people. O gold, cause of all evils, hidden enemy of life, whose strength and power conquer all, pray that you were not desirable harm to men. For your sake the world suffers quarrels, wars, robberies, deaths. For your sake, seeing that a son desires the death of his father as his inheritance, the son comes to be hated by his father. For your sake, kinsmen and brothers have no peace. You made the slow ox groan under the plough, and you invented the troubles of the sea into heavy oars. You, of mortal man, squander, waste, and snatch the brief days. You exercise the noble spirit in bestial labors, and you shed sweat on the poor, tears on the rich. And in the end you are so wicked that you set a price on the things that nature created in common, since the free water that lavishes itself, flowing and clear, only awaited the thirst of the one who desired it, is now sold, and gold distributes it. Do not speak with your mouth in your words a sentence different from the intention you harbor perversely in your entrails. Let your heart speak in your words, nor lightly change your mind. As a polyp changes its color according to the rocks it leans upon. He who, knowing that he is doing wrong, does it only for the sake of doing wrong, that is the wicked one, and cannot be worse, but he who cannot, even if he wants to, refrain from doing it, I say, that even if he does wrong, he is not entirely wicked. Wherefore thou must first examine every sense, not for riches, for strength, or because one is very wise and learned, be proud, for there is only God, who, though powerful, is wise, and is rich in every way, he alone, for he is rich of himself, and in himself equally, and is rich for all, and does not remember time, nor the things that were before, nor anything. Without him, that would be rich or wise, for before the hills were born, and the round globe of the earth gave weight to the air that bears it, and before the sun took its first steps on its path, and before the sea had a seat, and its shores laws, God's peerless wisdom was the architect of all these works. Do not torment yourself with memories of past evils, making the heart of your memory an invisible executioner. For no force is powerful enough to prevent what was in the world from being in the course of days, for all that is there is brought with the hours, and all that is taken with the hours. Do not let your hands obey your anger, persuaded by unbridled rage. Rather, repress blind resentments, for more often than not, he who wounds another under duress kills him. Let passions be equal, and nothing, through pride or greatness, be shown unequal. Let too much profit never bring security to the one who enjoys it. For too much vice rather leads us to licentious and lost loves, and too much prosperity dismays the most prudent mind and often leads it into 1,000 insults. Too much vehemence also engenders in our spirits furies as vain as they are harmful. Anger is a kind of desire, which kindles peace and tempers the blood. Emulation, envy, and competition are good in the good, but in the bad they are infamous. Bravery and daring are evil and dangerous in the wicked, and in religious people who pursue virtue, they are holy and useful. To love virtue is honorable, but lascivious Venus is death to the body, an affront to honor, and a stain on the soul. A prudent and wise man is a delight among other citizens in his land. He eats and drinks in a regulated manner, and with temperance, and with greater rigor he observes these laws in his speech, for in all things just moderation is amiable, and excess is harmful. And all should avoid it. Do not envy others their fortunes, see that you will soon be rebuked, and live in imitation of the glorious spirits of God, who rejoice without envy, and see eternal glory rejoice. Nature also teaches this, for the moon does not envy the sun's rays, its light being the mercy of the sun, and its variable beauty being but scanty remnants of its fire. For when full it is the crown of night, and when waning it serves as its diadem. Nor does the deserted, short, and vague earth envy the greatness, height, and location of the beautiful, eternal, and transparent sky, which makes it the point and center of its sphere. The streams do not envy the rivers, nor the tributary rivers the wide sea, because if there were envy between things, then there would be discord, and with discord nature would be seen destroyed. With the cruel wars of its children, and heaven itself would lose its peace, and the four elements, awake with their neighboring weapons, would not attend to the generations of things. Exercise temperance in your works, and in obscene actions repress yourself for yourself, and for those who see you, and with more care he reports to you, if by chance a boy is present. Great veneration is due to children. Do not you the first to steal the innocence with which he is born, nor, by God, the modesty and composure that nature gave him. You want to erase it by giving him a bad example. Do not give him something to imitate in your sins, nor when he is great and seditious in his misfortunes and just punishments. Let him tearfully curse you as a teacher. Rather, if at some time you were to sin, let the boy who looks at him be a hindrance to you. Do not be led astray by malice, but keep all injury away from you, for persuasion brings calm, and a seditious dispute soon breeds another similar dispute, and lasts eternally in successes. For poisonous matters always give rise to copious birth. Never believe anyone suddenly, before prudently considering the end of the matter. To conquer those who do good works in doing them is useful ardor and glorious presumption. It represents more honest will, and more beautiful to receive the pilgrim guest with easy supper and table without delay, than to detain him with vain precautions. Do not be an executioner for the poor man, nor when you take birds to some nest, and rob the lonely bird of its narrow home, let your robbery extend to the widowed mother. Forgive her, even if you take her away, so that you may have more children from her later. It is enough for you that she bear them and raise them. Do not trust in the various opinions of unwary men, nor allow your affairs to deal with or advise, for the wise man is the one who acts wisely. And the skillful and obedient to his precepts executes his arts. He who is rude, even if he hears, is not capable of doctrine, and those who have not learned or studied, even if nature helps them, do not understand anything well. Never receive a vile flatterer as a companion, for food, greedy more than a friend, he accompanies you, doing everything he does, more for your table than for your virtues. There are few friends of men, and many, and most are friends of gold, of the cup and the plate, thieves of time, flatterers, who are always lurking, a company harmful to morals, ungrateful people, who if you give them little they immediately become angry, and even if you give them much they never satisfy. Do not trust the common people, who are fickle, and the common people, water, and fire cannot be treated in any way. Do not waste your heart fruitlessly sitting by the fire. Sacrifice to God what is moderate. Do not with greedy rich offerings try to buy God's benefits. For even God desires moderation in the offerings he receives. Hide the dead in the earth, whose bodies lie in a poor grave, and never, moved by greed, dig the tomb of the dead for treasures. And do not teach him things that are not worthy of being seen by the sun, which sees everything from heaven, You will anger God if you do so, denying rest to the ashes and bones, which in the house of death enjoy dark peace in a black sleep. It is not an honorable thing to untie the bonds and structures of man, offending the corpse that the earth now holds. After the power of worms, we have a sure and firm hope that the relics and bones of the dead will see the light of day again, restored to their proper form and worthy of the soul, and that gods will immediately come into being. Eternal souls remain in the dead, and not everything expires with breath. Our soul is the image of God, who lives imprisoned among mortals and captive members. The body is a building of the earth, and in it we must all return unbound to dust, when heaven, ungirded from such a vile building, receives the soul, which reigned in a poor and sick republic in a clay prison. Do not spare riches in anything, nor fail to do good by not spending them. Remember that they must leave you, and that you must die, no matter how much you have. And that in the dark hell no one can have riches, and that no one can take money there with them, that even in death gold has a price. For the goods of this world accompany us to the grave, and there is not one of them to follow us into the black tomb, for we are all equal in death. And God has dominion only over divine and immortal souls. Eternal palaces and inviolable metal roofs are common to all, and the orc is a homeland for all, a resting place for the king and the poor, where without designated places they walk shoulder to shoulder. We men do not live long, we only live a dubious and brief space, which with the same time flies and flees. The immortal soul alone walks endlessly, though it had a beginning, and passes through old age and old age. Never grieve for the misfortunes you suffer, nor rejoice in the joys. They are all on loan, and as evil comes, good things go, and one after another they play with our fragile life. Many times we must mistrust the most certain in our life. Go with the times, and obey the state of things, not like a sailor against the wind. You prophesy, because evil to the sick, and death to the wicked, come suddenly. Do not, carried away by vanity, become a furious one, and from eloquence become a chatterbox and a talker. Practice eloquence, for it will be of help to you in everything, because in man, reason is the bravest lance, and more than that of steel, ready to offend, and always to defend oneself. God gave different weapons to things through nature, his minister. To birds he gave swift wings to roam empty fields, and clear untrodden paths. To strong and courageous lions, he armed the face with fierce threats, the brave hand with curved claws, and the gums with hard fangs. He gave the bull a frowning and rough brow, and to the ingenious bee he gave the subtle point, a secret weapon, with which, although at the cost of its life, it usually takes revenge, since it cannot defend itself from the thefts of men. These weapons were given to animals, but to the men whom divine reason created naked, it was given as weapons, without any other purpose. Although it is true that in him lies the greatest and most secure strength, for it is true that the wise man is worth more than the strong, for he governs all peoples, cities, and republics. To conceal prudence is a great sin, and to give favor and protection to the criminal so that he may not be punished, for it is fitting to abhor the wicked above all, since dealing with them is dangerous, and those who deal with them usually imitate them in punishments. Never receive or keep what thieves steal, nor conceal them, for you will be oppressed and punished with them as thieves, for he who consents to steal is a disgraceful thief. Let him who earned them enjoy his goods in peace, for equality is holy. Spend little by little wherever you are, when you see yourself rich, so that you don't see yourself as prodigal, then sad and beggarly. Don't live obedient to your belly like an animal. Remember that your eyes look up to heaven. If by chance you see that your enemy, burdened by the beast, lies on the road, overcome by the weight, charity is to raise it. Never mislead the lost, nor the one who suffers his changes at sea, for it is profitable to make friends of your enemies. At the beginning, stem the evil, heal the wound when it begins. Don't eat meat killed by wild beasts, nor what the hungry wolf spared. Leave it to the dogs, let it be sustenance for one beast, another beast. Don't compose poisons that are enemies of life. Don't read books of magic or superstitious authors, don't mistreat tender children. May strife and discord be far from you. Do not favor or do good to the wicked, for it is the same as sowing in the sea or in the sand. Work to live off your labor, for every ignorant and lazy man lives by thievery. Do not dine in anger on what is left over from another's table. Eat what you have in your house without any disgrace. Do not sell yourself to sweets, and if some rude man knows no art and sees himself poor, let him live honestly by his sweat, and with the axe let him break the earth. For everything is in life if you work, and what is necessary is in your hands, for only what is superfluous is lacking to man. If you are a sailor, and you have a taste for sailing, the sea is before you. Build on its shoulders, make a forest for it with pines and beeches. And let the mountain see the honor of its brow on its back. And if you wish to be a farmer, the wide fields are open and spread out. If you trust the earth's bosom for the golden grain it gave you another year, it will gratefully fill your granaries. If I dress the vine with a curved iron, cutting the useless branches, you will have sustenance for the fire in winter, and the fertile autumn will come, pregnant with the grape harvest. To give you something to store in your jars, in the sweet liquor that you will pour dancing from the winepresses with bare feet. No task is easy for men without labor, not even for the gods themselves, for labor increases virtue. The ants that dwell in secret chambers, leaving their depths, come out to seek sustenance, when August, stripping the fields bare, dresses the threshing floors with golden wheat, they load themselves with lost grains. Some follow one another, and carry their food for the time when they cannot seek it, and they do not tire, small people, more learned and ingenious, for they know how to hide their rooms. So that in the winter, neither water nor the greatest flood finds the door. The ingenious bee also works, small and elegant laborer, in the hollows of stones, or in the holes of trunks and reeds, or in closed hives making sweet houses of wax, and 1,000 flowers. Well, like you mortal, to whom heaven gave understanding, you say you do not know how to work, just to support yourself. Do these lowly laborers earn a daily wage for heaven? You must not end up without a wife, a mere bachelor, without children. Thank nature and your parents for the life they gave you, and do not be ungrateful to the preservation of the universe, whether you live or die. Do not beget children through adultery, for legitimate children are begotten differently from adulterous and defiled ones. Do not set a lustful and blind will on your father's second wife, nor mistreat her. Reverence her, love her gently, and suffer her when she is angry. Take her as your mother, for she has your mother's place by name. Do not enter your sister's chamber with unclean thoughts, and in your father's bed give yourself over to harlots. Do not mistreat pregnant women. Reverence life, which lives innocently within them. Do not tyrant, do not help women to move, nor allow it, nor give them their flesh and your substance to birds or dogs. Do not diminish the manly members of a boy, who could, if he grew up, conceive and increase. Do not consort with brutes, nor live, nor walk in their huts. Do not insult your wife for harlots, nor offend just and gentle nature with illicit embraces. Do not act as a lascivious woman with women, but with natural order enjoy their gifts. Do not be inflamed with the love of women altogether, for this love is not a god as we lie, but a harmful affection and sweet death. Do not enter the toilets where the beautiful women of your brothers sleep. Always love your wife, for there is nothing sweeter than a husband who is loved by his wife, until, grey and old, he sees himself useless, and only desirous of a gift. Nor is there anything more honorable than a wife beloved by her husband, until at death they are divided, without there being any quarrel in life at any time. Let no one with false promises, unless he remains her husband, enjoy the honest virgin who accepts him. Do not bring a wicked woman into your house, nor sell yourself to your wife for a dowry. We seek generous and thoroughbred horses in the villages, and brave bulls, robust and spirited dogs, and we do not seek a good woman, fools, only, for we must live with her. I also confess that women do not despise a man, even if he is low, ugly, and foolish, if he has much wealth. Do not add weddings to weddings, for that is adding trouble to trouble. Be gentle with your children, and not a tyrant. If the son makes a mistake, let his mother chastise him, or, if she is out of sight, let the elders of the house, or the judges of the town, or the magistrates. Do not allow your children to have long locks of hair, nor curly or frizzy hair, which is not a proper thing for men, being a proper adornment for women. Respect the tender beauty of a handsome youth. Many blind men love them lustfully. Guard maidens, closing doors and windows, and do not let them go out to see the streets before you marry them, for it is difficult to keep beautiful daughters from their parents. For even if she is shut up in a tower where the sun does not reach with its rays, if she is not the guardian of your own honor, you leave her within yourself the adulterer. For to desire to sin is sin. Love your relatives and maintain harmony. Reverence the elderly and their gray hair, giving them the best place and seat, and to the old nobleman have the same respect as to your father. Do not deny the necessary sustenance to the minister who assists you. Give your servant his just wages, so that he may serve you faithfully and punctually. Do not say shameful words to him, nor point fingers at him, lest you offend him. Do not slander the one who serves, lest he lose to his master, and if he is prudent, take advice from your servant. Chastity of the body purifies the soul, which vices dull. These are the sovereign secrets of justice, which give those who live obediently to them a secure life, a happy death, and glory afterward.